Booyah! Welcome back, everybody. Another Tuesday night chat with the Muskrat and my Cajun brother, Mr. Creole Catfishing. What's going on, Jeremy?
Oh, nothing, man. Just doing my usual, just out here on location again, working right on the side of the river, staring at it, and can't do nothing about it. But we're getting it done.
What a tease! That's got to be some kind of Chinese torture or something. You know what I mean? All the crazy stuff they come back with back in the day, but that's got to be rough. But actually, folks, Jeremy is in a different room than what they normally give him, and his signal is a little bit choppy. So
yeah,
we'll have to be patient tonight, and he may pop out and back in a couple times on us, but
yep,
we'll leave the light on for him nonetheless.
We'll do the best we can. We'll do the best we can with it.
Do the best we can. That's right. Well, before we get started, we're going to say hello to some folks that are tuned in and hanging out with us. We got Mike Sampson in the house right off the bat. Stonefly 71. Stonefly's got a birthday coming up. He sent me some do it molds. He picked up early birthday gifts. So somebody loving on him. Mid South is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Bugman 22. My dad's in the house. So I actually got to take my dad out fishing yesterday with my brother. First time Dad's been out fishing probably 30 plus years. 30 plus years.
That's amazing.
He's just I don't know. He's the same question. I don't know why I got out of this. But he had a good time yesterday. We got out and we did catch some fish. We didn't catch a lot of fish, but we caught some fish and got to take in the sights and sounds of being out on the water. Fried him up some bacon and eggs for breakfast on the old Blackstone. You can't be on the Muskrat. It's not a true experience unless you get to eat some food. So, but it was one for the memory bank, that's for sure. So I'm glad Dad enjoyed himself. I can't wait to do it again. Greg Burgess in the house. There's Miss Becca. Hello, Becca. Thanks for stopping in with us. Down East Tackle, Crappie Day Fish On. Team member Mr. Harold Bolton. What's up, buddy? David Smith's in the house. Buckeye Catfishing. We'll talk about Jim here in just a minute. Jim jumped in on the Monster Catfishing River Challenge, Ohio River Challenge. Dude took big fish of the whole tournament. Big fish of the whole tournament. I got his picture pulled up here. We'll share it here in just a few minutes. But thanks. Congratulations, first of all, on that. Dale Hayslip's in the house. Steve Ransom. Stan 3's in the house. What's up, brother? Looky here. Fishing and Freedom. Richard Cluck. Member for 14 months. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you guys helping out here. Got JR Fishing in the house. What's up, folks? Thanks for stopping by.
What's happening? I hope y'all are enjoying that new to y'all boat that y'all got. It was awesome. Y'all deserve it. It's good seeing it.
I got to go check that out. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet. Speaking of new boats, we got Rusty Moorfield in the house from River Rat Catfishing. He got him a new Dynasty 2.0. He's been trying to rig that thing up. I don't know what's more expensive, the boat or the accessories. It's a rough battle. There's Mr. Dave Funk.
Yeah.
Dave Funk again this weekend with another monster flathead out of Hoover Reservoir. This dude, it's state record. He's got state record written on him somewhere. He's going to find it. Sterling's in the house. What's up, Sterling? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you, brother. River Cats Tackles in the house. What's up? Thanks for stopping in. Mr. Skip Stewart. Right. That is an awesome hat, by the way.
I love this thing. I love it. My favorite on the website.
Mr. Skip Stewart over Clearview Outdoors. What's up, brother? Glad to see you in here. We need to get out and do some fishing. Wabash Nate's in the house as well. Woo, there's Mr. Kevin Walters. We was just talking about the River Cat monster. Oh, man. I'm messing it all up. I had it even pulled up over here. What happened to it? There it is. Ohio River Monster Cat Challenge. Boom.
There you go.
El Gato's in the house. Man, I think it just jumped on me. Clear to the bottom. El Gato's in the house. Brandon Enix, Catfishing Dreams. There's Mr. Zach Murray. The River Warriors are all here and accounted for now.
That's awesome.
We got Quiet Man Curtis is in the house as well. Crappie Day 922 Crappie Barbecue. I'm getting tongue-tied. Kevin says, thank you, everyone who came and supported our tournament. We're going to talk a little bit about your tournament here in just a moment. Pontoon Jody's in the house as well. And we're at 57 folks. I don't know if I've said 57 hellos yet, but I jumped clear to the bottom, so I'm not sure if I missed anybody or not.
Let's see. I think I see where you left off. If we get some repeats, you know what? Y'all are worth it.
Hey.
I see Pontoon Jody in the house. I see Dave's
right.
Hail Slip in the house. Let's see. It jumped on me too. Man, I tell you, it's not cooperating with me tonight.
Mr. Ted Ellenbecker is in the crowd tonight.
What's going on, Mr. Ted? Thank you for joining us.
That's
Appreciate
a little bit of pressure.
A little.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's see. All right. Well, first of all, what we'll do, I'm letting Jeremy kind of look through there and see if I missed anybody. But kind of the theme behind tonight's show is efficiency. So, often everyone hears the term, how do you catch more and bigger fish? And the most common answer is what? Time on the water, right? That's hands down the number one answer given, I believe. Time on the water is very important. Bait in the water is even more important. And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how to become efficient, how to improve on your ability to keep bait in the water longer, right? Because let's face it, if the bait's not in the water, you're not getting bit. So that's kind of the theme of tonight's show, is things that we do that we feel might be different, may not be different, and just kind of thought it was worth sharing. We just come off the Ohio River Monster Cat Challenge. That's a tongue twister.
It is.
And so Zach and I were very efficient on our game plan. We were very efficient on what we needed to do. We were very efficient on keeping baits in the water for as long as humanly possible to try to increase our odds at putting our bait in front of fish. And so, Jeremy and I were talking about this before the show, earlier in the week, about, tournament fishing and keeping the baits in the water and being effective and productive. But Jeremy says, well, it's not just tournaments. Jeremy doesn't get a fish but one day a week. And it's very important that one day he gets a fish a week, he's got to be efficient. He can't be out there wasting time. And that's going to probably fall right more in line with the majority of our group tonight. We do have some tournament anglers in here, and you guys know that I'm not really a big tournament angler, right? I love the fun fish. I love to do the charity stuff and the give back stuff. But every now and then I do love to get in our real tournaments and put our skills against our peers. And be honest with you, the most thrilling part is we run into all of our catfishing family, friends, and brothers and sisters that we truly enjoy seeing. And, most catfish events around here anyway are more like a family reunion. So that's where tonight's show is heading. And so be prepared for that. But since we've already on the topic of the Monster Cat Fishing Challenge here, I wanted to bring it up real quick and kind of talk a little bit about the event over the weekend. And I got to be honest with you, this was Kevin's first event this weekend, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it by being there. He did a very good job of making sure that everybody was in their places, that everybody, knew their role, what their job was. Don't do this, parking and positioning. It was flawless in my opinion. There may be hiccups behind the scene that I didn't notice, but to me, it was very well ran, very thought out, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. Right here is your winners. So Rick Johnson and Carissa Johnson wins with a total of 66.10 pounds. So the river actually gave up a lot more fish than it did the weekend before. The weekend before was very tough, and I really thought it was going to be pretty rough on everybody. But some folks did manage to pull out some good fish. And as I mentioned beginning of the show, our very own Buckeye Catfishing, Mr. Jim Butts here, finishes in fourth place with Rick Wagner. And they took big fish of the tournament with 46.6 pound blue cat. So 46.6 pound blue cat. And you see Jim there holding that fish loud and proud. And so not only did Jim take fourth place, he took big fish of the tournament. And Jim is also a veteran, and so was his partner, Rick. And so they also took top placing veteran. And so Congratulations to Jim and everyone else that competed. It was a fun event. Harold, did anyone video the weigh-in? If you go back to the Monster Cat Catfishing page, it is the live stream is there from the event. I'll try to scroll down here and show you. Right there it is. Right there, 3 days ago, live weigh-in. You can go back and rewatch that from this page here. So that's Ohio River Monster Cat Challenge page. So if Harold, if you need anything, just holler at me. I'll send you the link for that. But I just wanted to say congratulations to our brother there, and it was great seeing him again, and awesome. What happened? Well, as we said, Jeremy's got some service issues, so you're stuck with me for a minute, but that's okay. So some of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight was when it came to efficiency is kind of start to finish. So, Jeremy and I have spent several episodes in the past about using your navionics, using whatever gauges and graphs that are available to you. So if you're fishing a lake or reservoir, the government websites that tell you either the outflow at the spillways or dams, current lake level. Some of them even have water temperature. For us that mostly fish the river, you've got your dams that'll give you, most of them will give you your cubic feet a second. It'll also give you your river height, your gauge height on how deep the river is and what it's doing. It doesn't really give you current speed. I think some might. But I know our pools really don't, because no matter how deep the water is, it doesn't mean anything when it comes to flow. Because if you think about flow, if the dam down below is shut, but your dam ahead is flowing, it's not going to be pulling really fast, right? But if your dam below is open and the dam above is open, the river level might only be 15 feet, but because they're both open, you could have very high flow. So don't get in the preconceived notion that just because the river has a certain depth, it's going to be a certain speed, because that's not true. At least if you're fishing a river system that has dams. I feel you, brother. I could tell you it's going to be one of those nights for you. Just hang in there.
I'm trying not to say bad words. I have to mute my mic. So
here's the good with stand 3. Now, Stan is very efficient as well. One big thing I'm doing differently is try to pick an entire area to fish, not just one spot to anchor. That's a great attitude. Is the mentality to fish. So I try to always fish one new area. Like when I go out, I try to look at something I've never looked at before. I know Zach and I struggle with this because we have all these areas that are productive or areas that we're comfortable with, and so we feel confident in them. And it takes a lot of stepping out of your comfort zone to find some of these other areas. I want to welcome Uptown Chrissy Brown, another channel member with us, and Mike Greenwell joining the house as well. Thank you guys for stopping in. Nubby's Catfishing, Sean T. Hello, welcome. So those gauges and graphs, why are they important? Well, they kind of give you an idea typically about what you're looking at heading out to the water. Yeah. I kind of give you an idea of what you're going to be doing for the day, whether you might be dragging. Like for us, we can look at the gauge and say, hey, it's running 18,000. That ain't nothing. We're dragging today. Yeah. Dreadneck Outdoors. Thank you. Welcome, my brother. That's my actual brother. He was out fishing with us yesterday. So thanks for stopping in. So we kind of know before we even hit the water that we have a plan in place of what we're going to be doing. So we don't have to wait till we get to the water, see what the water's doing, go out and check current speed. Yeah, we know all that before we leave the house. We're prepared. So no matter what the strategy is for that day, we've got it figured out. Now, we all know things change and come up, and they might open a gate, they might shut gates, and things can change on you. And, you got to be able to adapt and overcome, which was the topic we talked about ago about, having plan B, C, and D in your back pocket and being efficient at each of the different styles of fishing. So that if you do need to change, you've got the confidence and the ability to change your tactic to match the needs. All right. So
Yeah, 100%.
right,
And we'll do, we'll take off and do the same thing. I'm looking at apps, I'm looking at flows, I'm looking at, river stages, rising, falling, depth, everything I can look at. And at least in my area, rising or falling river, current speed, and everything else, it should be certain things, and it helps us plan our trips. And
Zach has a good one there, checking the weather. That's our that's our go-to. We check the weather and check the river conditions before we ever go. So, depending on the wind direction, things like that, it's all going to play a part in what we do and how we do it for the day. And this is also very important, Zach, also as to make sure you have a good lunch plan. Those of you that hung around long enough know we like to eat well on the boat. I have over 30 spots I anchor and fish at different depths. Yeah, Sampy, that's good. Being able to do, different things at different times. Sometimes the inside bend, 0 flow, outside bend, 2 mile an hour. Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. And time on the water will give us that information and tell us where we need to be looking. Depends on what we're targeting and what the fish are doing at the time. So having a plan and knowing exactly what you're doing is going to help you get started, get going fishing, and be as efficient as you can. Now, catching your bait beforehand sometimes could be the game changer. Yeah, Jeremy, go ahead. This was actually your point.
Yeah, that happened to us last fishing trip. I decided that I'm not bringing anything from the house. If we can't catch fresh, we're not going fishing. Well, it took us 4 hours to get bait, and it wasn't even the bait that I wanted. We ended up with some Asian carp, which is not my favorite thing. We ran. It basically blew my entire plan of the area I wanted to fish because I had to run the opposite direction to go get bait, and I didn't have enough fuel to get back to the area I wanted to fish. It completely blew my pan, wasted a lot of time getting the bait, and basically we ended up skunking because of it. It just didn't go our way, and it wasn't a good plan. It just wasn't.
So our experience for Zach and I typically, and Skip as well, is if we're in a situation where we know the bait is prevalent where we're at and we could catch it, we always catch fresh. There are lots and lots of trips we don't take a single piece of bait with us. But in times like this, like right now, bait's kind of tough. You might be able to catch a few skipjack out or dams of an evening. You might be able to catch a few during the morning, but it's hit or miss. The shad, they're pretty scattered out. They're not moving. They're not up in the marinas right now. They're out and about. They're in deep water. They're in shallow water. They're everywhere. But at a time like this, we go and we have bait because we can't afford to gamble. Like you said, most people get a fish 1 or 2 days a week, and you can't afford to gamble on whether you're going to catch bait or not in times like this when bait's tough.
Yep.
Rusty says, if you're catching fish on mud, fish mud. Let me see what that says. If you're catching them on sandbars, fish that. Pay attention to what bottom they're on so you can eliminate a lot of water. Yep. Same with rocks or trees. Yeah, that's actually excellent point there is eliminating water. All right. So some of you that fish enough know that like certain flow is going to mean that the fish are not really going to be doing this or that, or high flow means the fish should be, here or there. Zach says it's risky to not have a backup bait plan. That is true.
Yeah. We had to go to plan B, and that's what changed my entire fishing trip, and apparently not for the better.
Big Rondo's letting us know that Jeremy's having has some signal issues where he's at. So he's just being a trooper there for us. He's going to try not to say any bad words, but we can't make any promises at this point.
Just throwing that out there.
And Richard Fishing Freedom says, Jeremy gave me the best efficiency advice I've ever got. Don't even put bait in the water until you know you're putting it in front of fish. Made me rethink just bombing an area that looks fishy. That is excellent information. So when you do put your bait in the water, you obviously want to put it in an area that is either likely to hold fish or that you see is holding fish. During this tournament that we did this weekend, we found fish. We had fish in front of us all day, and we put baits in the water. And I'm telling you, we drug baits all day long. And towards the last hour of the day, we had 2 fish for the day at 2:00, which was terrible. They were 2 decent fish. They were a 15 and a 16. We were like, man, we need a 3rd fish. We went and scanned an area that usually holds channel cats, but we were kind of basically saying, you know what, a channel cat's a 3rd fish. We don't care.
Yep.
We scanned an area. We marked a bunch of fish in super shallow water. It was too shallow to scan the water to see if they're catfish or not. We were kind of out of time anyway. We said, you know what, we're just going to drag this spot. And if they're catfish, hopefully we luck into one. Well, it turns out the last 20 minutes of the tournament, we had 4 rods double over at the same time, and another fish right before that. So we had 5 fish on the floor 15 minutes before the end of the tournament, and we're trying to figure out which one's the biggest. We knew the 2 bigger ones, but we had 5 fish on the floor that literally weighed between 10 and 11 pounds. We just trying to figure which one was the biggest. And to be honest, in the chaos of all that, we accidentally threw back our 3rd fish. So we actually had 7 fish in the boat, and we threw them all back, but 2. We went to weigh in with 2 fish instead of 3. So yeah, it wouldn't have made a big difference. I think we would have placed around 11th instead of wherever we placed, which was not very good. But it was funny. We had a good time. We chuckled about it. If it would have cut our paycheck, it would have hurt bad, but it didn't. Let's see. I thought I seen their size matter catfishing. What's going on? There's Bill. What's up, buddy? Over at War Pig. Now, this is kind of going to be a shameless plug, all right? And there are lots and lots of great products out in our community, right? There are several people making several. There's Tim Molina. What's up, Tim? Thanks for stopping in, buddy. There are several people out there making products for the catfishing industry. And I'll tell you, some of them are great. Some of them are not great. And some of them are just my personal opinion. But I'll tell you that my personal opinion is that these dragon weights right here have totally made has changed the game for us as far as keeping our bait in the water. And that's Dirty South dragon weights. I'm not going to try and make this an infomercial or nothing. They're not paying me to say this. I'm not pro staff or anything crazy like that. But I genuinely believe that these weights right here have totally changed the way that Zach and I are dragging baits and our confidence to drag baits in anything. I mean, anything. I've got some screenshots, and I need to make a post or 2 about it. You would not believe the stuff that we are dragging these weights through. And Jeremy's shaking his head, yes, because he's having exact same results that we are. It is unreal. Unreal using these things as far as your ability to get through brush, trees, rocks. Is anything 100%? Absolutely not. If you find something that's 100%, please tell me. But these are about as close as I can get so far. And I've tried making them myself. I've had my friends make them. I've tried other people's. I've bought them. People have sent them to me, and I've tried them. And man, Brandon, I don't. I'm not at the house. I don't have one on me. Let me give me a second here. I'll click over and see if I can't find you something real quick. Because I've got them on Facebook here.
Yeah, I know as far as we are concerned, that's the only dragon weight I've ever pulled through that matted revetment on the banks of the rivers around here, and actually have gotten weights back. That's very odd for us. It's the only one that survives some of the stuff that, the little bit I do drag, we drag in some nasty stuff and we've gotten them back. It works very well. So
right here it's not a great picture, but it's a picture of each one. So they have these set up colored and scale. Actually, I don't think this one is one of their newer ones, but like it's a 1.5, a 2 ounce, a 3 ounce. I think those ones there are 4s, 5s. I think they even have 6s now. If you want to drag in deeper, faster water.
Yep.
Bank fishing tonight, lines in. Good luck, Tim. I hope you get on some.
Heck yeah.
But the way these things are built, they have a weight here in the bottom of them. That's basically, some type of heat shrink tubing. And it has, I don't know what kind of foam it is inside, backer foam. I'm not sure. I've never taken one apart. I've never had one fall apart. So that's how I tell you, I don't know what the inside looks like. But it does stand up. So because it's made up, if you dropped it in the water, it would stand, straight up. It'd be erect. And as soon as you start dragging it, it puts a little lean to it, and it just seems to glide over stuff. It's not science really, but I'm telling you, it's a product that I believe in.
Bait run.
There we go. Oops. It's a product I believe in, and I truly believe that it helps us keep our bait in the water longer, which in turn helps us catch more fish. And depending whether you're out there for fun, whether you're out there for food, or you're out there for a tournament, either way, being efficient, keeping your bait in the water is the number one key to putting fish in a boat. There you go. Zach says it best right there. You can't argue with results. And I'm not trying to bash anybody, any other company out there. There might be somebody that's 10 times better. I don't know that. I know that these ones that I use have been doing freaking awesome for us. We got to nudge Roger for Hoover. Dude, as soon as you guys are ready, like you guys just say, you tell me what weekend you want to go. You better figure it out before Hoover freezes. I'm telling you, there's been some good fish here lately. Hey, there's Fashizzle in the house, man. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Channel member as well. Appreciate you helping us out. And real quick, Kelly Bullock's in the house. Fishing Fever. I saw a couple people sneak in. I missed. You guys see Forrest Gump over there waving? Yeah, I don't know what's going on that screen. We like Forrest Gump. Reminds me of myself. I'm not a smart man. So, Jeremy, what else you got to add? I know we talked about a bunch of stuff, and I should have wrote it all down. But one of the other things that I do is, some of you that have paid attention long enough know that I pre-tie all my rigs, right? So I get broke off. Something happens and I lose my rig. I've got a bag that's already tied. Nothing is biting in Hoover. All right, Dave, we'll stay out of there, I guess. But I pre-tie on my rigs. So if I do get a break off, I can be retied and right back out on the water in just a moment. I mean, literally like a minute or two, and we are back out and we got baits back down in the water. And I know Skip is the exact same way. He pre-ties all his rigs, and Zach keeps all his stuff right there organized, showing, he gets his rigs tied and back out almost as fast as I can pull mine out of the bag. So that's how he prefers to do it. Just so don't know if this has been said yet, but one thing that helps me be efficient on my kayak, especially during tournaments, is tool bags filled with multiple pre-tied leaders. Yep. He chimed in just a hair after me, but yeah. What I use is the Bass worm bags. Walmart has one. It's the Okeechobee or whatever name brand. It's like $10. And, we're kind of past back to school now. We're in October. Back to school clearances, man. You could get some of the pencil pouches and stuff. You get this thing for like $0.25, and you get a bunch of those. They're durable. They got zippers on. That's a great hack. Actually, I think I saw that one on Fishing and Stuff over with Keith.
Yep.
Chris Hill's in the house.
Usually Dollar Tree and Dollar General, or either one, they're pretty good about having stuff like that, but for dirt cheap. Justin says the last horseshoe tournament is on the 14th. What?
Are you saying you rather throw horseshoes? We got to wait till you're done throwing horseshoes to go fishing? I don't know. Hey, there's my little sister, Garden Princess. What's going on? We got the whole family in here tonight.
I see that.
Man, I love that. I love that. We have to hit the river before rut. Yeah, which means you got about 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. You got to get it in before November. So yeah, pre-tying your rigs is another way to try to maximize your time on the water. Being efficient. I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff here that we had talked about, but yeah, I have a brain fart. Oh, so Jeremy just drops out altogether. He don't want to leave me hanging here by myself, or he does want to leave me hanging here by myself. Yeah. So Aaron Grubbs. He meant worm bags, not tool bags. I got you. Dr. Fish brand from Amazon. I haven't checked those out.
Yep.
I was reading Richard. He said he watched his live scope videos today. We actually had Fishizzle on the show talking about his ability and his tactic scope for catching catfish. And I got to be honest with you, it pretty much changed my mind about the effectiveness of live scope for catfish, because I got to be honest with you, all the way up until this episode with Brandon, I had always had in the back of my mind that the live scope for us catfishermen would only be useful in bait catching situations. That's it. Brandon proved me dead wrong when he showed video of catfish laying on the bottom, setting up on, the pipe that was dispensing a warm water discharge underwater. Fish practically laying their bellies on top of the warm water, laying in the bubbles. I'm the Ohio State horseshoe champion. I cannot fish worth a lick, so I got to be good at something. You're the horseshoe champion? Well, I didn't realize that. I guess since how you're the champion, I guess go for it. We'll support you, buddy.
Yeah.
Danny Stone's in the house and says pre-tied rigs is definitely the way to go. That being said, I always get a bite on the other rods when I'm trying to tie a rig. So, hey, there's Trophy Seekers Outdoors. What's up, Daryl? I was going to call you today, man. I got all tied up. I was talking to Bobcat today, and I said, I need to call Daryl next, and I just didn't make it happen. I hope everything's well with you, getting yourself in good order. Like I said, talked to Bobcat today. He's in good spirits, healing up, and got a long road to go, but he's diligent. He's determined. That's a good question.
Roger's going to get so mad at me when I say this. 38. That's the coldest water I've ever fished in, 38.
38-degree water? We can't get much colder. It'd freeze.
That's the coldest water I've ever fished in is 38 degrees, and that was like one time. Average, ours touches 40, 41 and doesn't get any worse than that on average.
Justin, I don't see anything from you, buddy. I was going to try to pull it up, whatever you had there. I don't see anything. So I apologize. I was trying to see if there was better. There is a video out here I was going to show, but I can't. It was the Dirty South Dragging Weights video is basically just kind of showing how these things work, dragging across the bottom. And like I said, I'm not trying to make an infomercial out of it. It's just a product I believe in. I believe it's really helped us out. Whether you believe in that product or any other product. He said, bye, Rusty. He says, I have to take my kid to the store. Hey, Rusty, man, have a good night. It was great. I talked to Rusty this week, too. We talked on the phone for like an hour and a half. It was like two girls out there just giggling and talking about fishing and boats and everything else, life. Well, it's sideways, but I'll show them anyway for you right there. and sideways, but right there you have it. I don't know. That's a check for some money over there. You're making money throwing horseshoes? Ohio State horseshoe pitching champion. I can't turn it. I don't think I could turn it. Maybe if I saved it, I could turn it, but I can't turn it. Well, congratulations, Justin. I've never been state champion in anything, so I don't care what it is. That's a good job. This is obvious one, but charge your batteries every trip. I made that mistake too many times and had to wait to go fishing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do, for preparation going out. Thinking of the little things and stuff like that is, attention to detail. It can all ruin your day and take your ability to keep bait in the water and stay on the water out of the equation if you forget to put your plug in or something crazy. Forget to charge your batteries. There's Fields of Water, Mr. Chad. If I missed you earlier, I apologize, but welcome. Bob had to go to the emergency room today. Oh, man. That had to have happened after I talked to him. I talked to him around 10 o'clock this morning, I believe, 10 or 11. Huh. Well, I hope he's all right, man. Like I said, I just talked to him this morning. PD Fishing, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. This is a great point right here. Warpig mentions he has a checklist, and having a checklist and here's the thing. I have a checklist. I don't use it. I have a mental checklist. Basically, when Zach and I go out on the boat or I go out myself, there's 3 things we check off our list: bait, rods, plug. And that's as simple as we keep it. Everything else after that becomes luxury. But the bait, the rods, and the plug. As long as we got those 3 things, we can get going. There, he just said it. Bait, rods, plug, in that order. Now, I have a more extensive checklist on my boat that I can't remember who gave it to me, to be honest. It might have been Skip. I don't remember. Laminated and all. Beautiful checklist. I should be using it. I don't. But it would help me in the event that fall short on my needs. I had to test my foghorn this last weekend. Got every dog barking in a mile radius. Yeah, I'm telling you, the fog has been quite treacherous here lately. I know for Tuesday's tournament, a lot of folks did not get to do what they wanted to do. Now, as we talked earlier, we knew the fog was going to be an issue, so we just made it part of our plan. Our plan was to launch in a location that was a short run to where we could start dragging. We knew that the area we were going to drag normally doesn't put out a lot of big fish, so we thought we could pick up 3 fish and start calling the rest of the day. And we could fish that area for as long as it took till the fog lifted and still have plenty of time to fish our other areas. And that's exactly what we did. But yeah. Against my better judgment, I'm going to ask a serious question. How much distance do you put between your 2 bait double hook rigs?
The Kentucky rig, I think you mean.
Yeah. For me, it's about 18 to 24 inches, right in there. It's funny. I tie these rigs on my lap, and it's just a space between. That doesn't sound right to say. I was going to say the space between my legs, but I use it to measure how long, shut up.
Careful.
Anyway, I tie my rigs. They're all the same. They're very consistent. But I think it's around 18 to 24 inches. Oh, boy. Turning red. Zach said 18 to 24 inches. Hey, Avid's in the house.
Yeah,
Let's change the subject. What's up, Avid? Wabash Nate's here with us as well. Turning red. We heard a boat running 30 to 40 mile an hour in the fog on Saturday. Crazy. Holy cow. Yeah, there is something to be said about trusting your electronics, but there's also something to be said about, judgment. We did not. We waited till the fog lifted. Now, it was still a little foggy, but we could see plenty. Thank you, JG. We could see well enough to make sure that we were safe. And so once it was safe to travel, we were able to travel. But yeah, what Zach said, there are some folks that's going to run and take the risk, and that's on them. We all heard, at least in the area we were fishing, well, it didn't matter where you're fishing. They went up and down the river, and there was barges in that fog. And so it was a risky move to take off without being able to see well. Jerry Parker's in the house. What's going on? I don't know if I said Angler of DeVille, but welcome, James Allball. Thank you, guys. I'm saying names because I'm not sure if I caught them first time around. Fishing with Steve Mosley's in the house. So tonight we're talking about being efficient, and so we got some great anglers in the chat here. I'd be curious to see. So some of the things we've talked about tonight as far as being efficient is knowing the conditions of the weather and the water before you go out, so you have a game plan, so you don't waste time coming up with a game plan on the spot. You've got something in mind. 2, pre-tying your rigs, and being prepared that if you do have a break off, you've got weights, you've got rigs, you're ready to go. You can get right back in the water. The other thing I felt was a game changer for us was our dragging weights. So find a dragging weight that works for you, that you have confidence in, and that, like I said, I feel like we keep our baits in the water way longer and have way less break off snags and issues. Yeah. And I believe it's catching us more fish because we're in the water and we're in the nasty stuff. You guys wouldn't believe the stuff we look at. Basically, as long as there's not standing upright trees, if there's just a pile of stuff, we drag right through it. We don't care. Do we ever get hung up? Yeah, there's nothing that's 100%, but I'm telling you. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing I'll tell you about these dragon weights, and I think it would go the same for any dragon weights that have flotation in them, is that we're dragging upriver and you have any current of all. If you do get hung up, these weights, if you give your line slack and allow that weight to stand back up straight again and then pop it, I'm telling you, 90% of the time, I will get it back. Yep. If it hangs up and gets buried, if I give it slack, let that line slack and let that thing stand back up, and then I crank down on it and pull it in, I'm telling you, 90% of the time, it pops up and over whatever it was hung on. Now, unless the hook gets buried in something, then that is what it is. It's the chance you take when you drag. But
yeah, right.
We drug all day Saturday, and I lost one rig all day. And I'm telling you, we didn't care what we drug through everything. So having good dragging weights that you can keep your bait down there longer, and then also catching your bait. If you're confident and you're able to catch bait before you go, great. Before you go for the day. But if you don't have that confidence, go out the day before, 2 days before, whatever it takes, get your bait and have it ready.
Yep.
So that, every minute on the water is productive,
I know for us, a big deal in my boat is just, I have a routine. Everything kind of happens in the same order. And I make sure that if somebody's coming with me that hasn't been before, that I let them know, hey, when we stop on a spot, we're going to do this, then this, then this, I need this, everybody knows the routine. That way we can just get rods in the water faster because everybody already knows what they need to do once the anchor goes down or once the trolling motor goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of symphonic. I don't know sure how you, when Zach and I set up to start dragging, we are both on it. We both, we both have the exact same routine pattern. We drop our long lines out the back, then we start our outside board. While it's starting to go out, we work on the next board, and it starts to go out and work on the next board. And it starts to go out, drop a line. I mean, it's insane how quick we can get 8-9 rods out and moving. But we've done it a lot, and we've practiced a lot, and we've developed a routine or a pattern that works best for us. Kind of like, when we bring the boat in, we can back a boat in on the trailer, hooked up and down the road in about 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Minus putting rod socks on. That's probably the longest thing is putting rod socks on.
Now, Roger can maybe explain something else. A big thing for efficiency before I lose signal again is line positioning to prevent tangles when you do catch a fish. I find that's a very important method of efficiency, is not tangling everything you got. So maybe Roger can explain that method.
So one of the things that we do, I think we do a little bit different than some other people, is we do not put a very long tail on our planer board. We do not run a lot of line out behind the planer board. All right. 2 reasons. 1, tangles. All right. So if you got a got a big long, you got line going way back there, and you catch a fish on your outside board, you got to drag him through that line somehow and hope to get over it. All right. Mm-hmm. Chances aren't great. Not only that, the angle of your line is at such a slow grade that your line has more chance of getting contact with the bottom than if it's at a higher pitch. Right. So that higher pitch changes the angle of which your line and your weight is hitting the bottom of whatever structure it is, your whatever river bottom, lake bottom, whatever you're dragging, it changes the pitch. And I feel like that changing of the pitch helps eliminate some snags and getting hung up. It also helps eliminate when you do catch that fish on the outside planer board and you got 2 more boards to get past, that fish will usually drop back, right? It's dropping back, and normally it's going to drop back and it'll go behind all those other lines, and you can bring it straight up the side of the boat. That's been our routine and our method. We pretty much run them all the same because, you know, one of the things that I know I've been talking to Freddie over FOA Customs and Gear about him launching new planer boards. And one of the things I told him was, you know, I've got Uncle Lou planer boards and they are great, but I've also got another name brand, a planer board that doesn't pull out very good. So what happens is if I put 3 planer boards out and they're not the same 3, well, it messes me up because if I got 3 planer boards out and I catch one on the outside board and I bring it in, these other 2 boards now become out, and that other board now becomes the inside board. And if I catch another fish, you know, those 2 slide out, and it just keeps going. When you have an off brand or a different planer board, it messes that all up because they're not pulling the same. It's hanging back behind it. It just, so, you know, in my opinion, how many planer boards you plan on running, I don't care what name brand you get, I would get the same. Like, don't try to get 3-4 different name brands or 2 or 3 different name brands. Get the same. If they don't pull out great, doesn't matter. None of them are going to pull out great, right? But they're all going to do the same thing. In a situation like I'm in, I've got 2 Uncle Lou's boards and a set of another company's boards, and the other company doesn't pull nearly as good. And but Freddie has showed me and told me about some of the testing he has done with his boards. I don't know if you guys know that he launched some planer boards over on FOA Customs and Gear, but he did, and they appear to be awesome. So
absolutely
very, very similar. You know, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but they're very similar to, I believe, Uncle Lou's boards. I know that they aren't the same dimensions and the weight is a little bit different. The results seem to be very, very similar. So I'll be excited to get my hands on a couple sets of those and give them a try. So Lance, welcome, man. Thanks for stopping in. Chad Daddy, I can't remember if I caught everybody or not. Me and Riley were doing circles.
When we're anchoring, as far as like spreading lines out, I don't fish with a lot of rods. I fish with 4 rods, maybe 5, a lot of current. They all get drugged behind the boat. So I'm running a down rod. Then my next rod is medium length out the back of the boat. Then my long rod, and then a medium next to it. I'm not throwing 2 rods next to each other the same length. I'm staggering my lines. That way, if I catch a fish, he's not going to immediately swim to the side and tangle one of my other lines. It's a big, big thing of keeping bait in the water is having a fish not swim through everything you got and tangle everything.
Here is another thing that actually Jeremy told me about before the show, and I didn't even realize that it's something that I do and that we've done. Jeremy says, for how long? You've told me about
at least 4 years. At least 4 years. I know you've done this.
Just real quick, I happen to have a picture of the FOA. That's the board right there that I want.
That is nice.
The orange. I want the orange, and I want to get a green. You guys know my boat are orange and green. So I don't know if he customizes.
It's your color.
Yeah, it is. It makes my eyes look pretty.
I know, right?
I don't know if he does customization, like as far as words and stuff on the other side. If he can make it say Muskrat, I don't know. Hey, look at that! Look at that guy working on boards now. We were just sitting there talking about you, brother. Yeah. So check out Freddie's boards, man. They come with shoot, they come with like 3 different types of clips, depending on what kind you like. Different clips in the front, different clips in the back. It's very customizable to fits your need. But I'm not sure what that other picture was. I'm scared to click. I'm not clicking it.
Careful.
I not trust it. Oh, it was safe. I didn't see it, but I didn't preview it. So, there you go. Second board is right there. I like it. I like his new logo too. Veteran owned, operated, FOA Customs and Gear. That is slick.
I like it.
What I was saying was something we've been doing, and I didn't realize we do it for 4 years. Freddie and Roger, we need to talk. Dominic's up to something. Dominic's up to something. I ain't a hard man to find, so bring it. The thing is that we've been doing is as soon as we catch a fish, the very first thing we do is put our bait back out. Now, if it's like hot summertime and, we're worried about the stress of the fish and things like that, then we put the fish first. But honestly, we almost always try to rebait, especially on anchor. But we almost do it just the same as dragging boards. We like to get our bait right back out there as fast as possible, right? So if we pick up a fish, we all know the chances are good. There's some other fish in the area. So we want to maximize our opportunity by getting bait right back out. As soon as we get the bait back out, then we, take our pictures, hold the fish up, show the camera if we're live or do whatever. But I know that we do that, but I didn't even think of it until Jeremy said that he caught it 4 years ago and he has thought about it and remembered it since. So
Yep.
It's something we started doing. And right there, Dave's adding a tip for the planer boards there. Put reflective tape on the boards. You won't need lights at night, just your hat light. Yeah, those reflective tape and stuff will do the trick for sure.
Yep.
Just a second here. I'm going to try to. I got a couple. Oh, here we go.
If you go to any construction supply place, get the tape that you use to retape like traffic cones, retro reflective tape. It works great.
Act like it's game day all the time. You say that, Zach, but we all know that we act totally different on game day. We fish pretty hard. I won't lie. We do fish hard every time we go out. It's a Roger, I need a refresher course on setting up navionics. Okay. All right. Yeah, we might be able to talk about that. So what Dominic's talking about, I met him at the the gathering down in Tennessee year before last, I think. And one of the things I pointed out to Dominic that navionics is also extremely useful for bank anglers. Great show. Got to cut out. Hope everybody has a blessed night. Prayers and blessings. Much love. Thank you, Becca. Appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. So one of the things I showed Dominic was that the Navionics app is also very useful for bank anglers, as you could tell the depths close to the bank. You can see if the channel comes in, and you can actually use the measurement tool on it to see how far out it is to hit that channel or structure or whatever it is you're trying to target. You can all do that from the Navionics web app and do it right there on your phone, and it can help what you do from the bank. So we might be able to go over that and talk a little bit. Right here, what's going on? Why is it? Something's going on. Stop screen. I was trying to get this other up there. What? Why is it not doing it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Guess what's coming up? There we have it. Catfishing for Kids. Signups will be up tomorrow. Tomorrow I may have it up tonight. I have a post up taking signups for this year's Catfishing for Kids. This will be the Halloween tournament. As you guys know that we have a lot of fun with this event each year, and it'll be the same as the last 2 years. Let me see. I got to stop that and redo it. As far as rules go, so if you guys are interested in jumping in on the Catfishing for Kids, it'll be October 28th, 9 to 1. And here's your rules. Same as it has been in the past. We do a point system by weight, 0 to 10, 1, 10 to 22, and go so on and so forth. Kids dress up, they get an automatic 3 points. The kid stays in costume, that changes from 3 points to 6 points. And if the adult accompanying the child dresses up, they get a 5 points. And if they stay in costume for the entire event, that ups to 10 points. So theoretically, if somebody's getting in the spirit here and decides the child and the parent dresses up and stays in costume, they could win this event and not catch a fish. I mean, this event is designed for fun. And we want to have kids out and having some fun and have the parents ride along with them, enjoying themselves. And so that's going to be coming up. Where did it go? That's going to be coming up October 28th. Like I said, 9 to 1. So that's only a 4-hour event. Through our events in the past, especially when it comes to the late October one, I found that the 4 hours is a good, fair time for the kids. We don't want to make it too rough on them. We don't want to put them out there longer than we need to be. We want to make kids fishing as enjoyable as possible. You got to remember that, as much as we love to fish and we like to be out there catching the biggest fish in the water, when you take a kid, you got to downgrade everything to just simplicity, having fun. Whether you catch something or not, do what you got to do. Every kid's different as far as their level of engagement, their level of excitability, their level of patience. Take yourself down to what you think it would take to keep a kid happy. For these kids events that we're doing, dressing up in costume is fun. The parent, guardian, whoever's deciding to take them out, friend, neighbor, cousins, brother, whoever's taking them out, they decide to dress up. That's, it's just more fun for the kid. And let's face it, we all enjoy it. You'll see my goofy ass dressed up too. Miss Becca will be tagging along with me on that event because, well, why wouldn't she? She's a great asset to have to the team, and she absolutely loves and adores this event. And I would never take that away from her. It is one of her babies. So just a minute here. I was trying to find my other link right there for our next event. Don't go anywhere. We'll see who sticks around. Numbers are dropping. I have a surprise at the end, by the way, which needs to hurry up. Let me see. I'll try to make this next part quick and easy. Man, poor guy. He just can't catch a break tonight with the signal. So we also have this event coming up, and so I want to go ahead and share it out. Whew, that was scary. The Veterans Charity Catfishing Tournament benefiting Operations Vets with Nets. So we had Rich on last week talking about Operations Vets with Nets, great organization that we are a part of. Jeremy joined the team this last week representing Louisiana. And we're going to try to do a little fundraiser to help raise some money for this group. If anybody wants to donate any prizes or make any donations, I'm going to have their link to their charity up. I'm not asking for any money to come to me whatsoever. Not my PayPal, not my super chat. I want everything that anybody's willing to give to go straight to the organization to try to help them out. Right now, we got four people signed up for that event, which will be on November 11th, which is Veterans Day. And the only rules is you got to have a veteran present with you. Whether you choose to fish from the bank or fish from a boat or even a kayak, as long as you got a veteran with you, you're in. And I'm trying to work on some prizes to make this a fun event. Number one, for the veteran fishing, the winner, and number two, for everybody in chat who comes in and tries to help support this organization that is doing wonderful things. If you haven't heard of them yet, you will. They are on fire right now, and they are growing. It's amazing that they're just growing across the entire country at a rapid pace, and they're picking up all these other organizations. See, here's the great thing about Rich and what he's doing. He's not trying to be the biggest, baddest wolf in the woods. He's doing this all for the vets. And if every other organization out there that cares about veterans wants to jump in and contribute and join forces and do something collaboratively, he's taking all that on. Sean T's, yeah, there we go. River Cat Tackle gift cards. I had a couple things wrote down from last week, so I'm going to be working pretty hard this next week and banging on some doors to see if we can't get some stuff donated.
Yeah.
To try to make this event happen. And Jeremy, I didn't even ask you about what we talked about last week, if he was able to follow up with that guy or not.
We're working on it as we speak. We are working on it.
I got you. So we got some cool stuff hopefully lined up. But the Veterans Charity event is going to be coming up real quick. So if you're interested in fishing with a veteran, get with me. I've got 8 spots available for that day. I've got 4 spots filled already. So don't wait too long if you're thinking about jumping in on that.
Yeah.
And I kind of gave it away, didn't I?
Oh, little bit.
Was that a little premature?
Little bit. Might have been. It'd be all right though.
Well, that's all right. See, so because I have been talking a lot about these Dirty South Dragon weights, and Tyra and Craig are good friends of mine. I met up with them this week at the event. They fished that tournament as well. And she said, you know what, Roger, I'd like to do a giveaway for some dragon weights. And she sent me a message that reads as this. She said, I believe it would be a 6-pack. They make variety packs. So it could be like a couple 2s, couple 3s, couple 4s, whatever. Or if you have a specific size that you want, it'll be a 6-pack of dragon weights. So the value varies depending on weight on that. But so they said, let's give away a 6-pack of dragon weights, courtesy of Dirty South. And so if you want to try these out and you've never tried them, or you already tried them and you love them and you want some more, throw in the words Dirty South in the chat here real quick, and we'll close the night out with a giveaway. And again, thank you to Tyra and Craig from Dirty South Dragon Weights and Outerline Rod Racks for sponsoring the giveaway with us tonight. So if anybody, there we go. I see a couple now. Hey, Skip says, great show, guys. Thank you, buddy. Zach says, good job. Appreciate you guys. How do I enter? Bugman, you know how to enter. You just type the words Dirty South. It does not have to be capitalized. I made that just so everybody can see it well in case you're on a mobile device. But Dirty South, all one word. And we'll give it just 2 minutes here. Jeremy, you got anything else for us, buddy? Anything coming up? Any fishing adventures? Poor guy. Man, I tell you. Man, Kevin, holy crap. Kevin just donated a Mad Catz carbine Patriot rod for you. Man, if you guys have not seen that rod, that is, I'm like Zach on this one. Zach has some patriotic gear that actually I think I've given to him over the last couple of years, and he doesn't want to use it. It's so pretty, he doesn't want to use it. And I kind of feel the same way about that rod. Man, it'd be hard to leave that rod at home, but it is such a good-looking rod. I'd have to have 2, I think. One to fish with and one to, I don't know what you're supposed to do with the rod. If you're just hanging on the wall or what. But they are sharp. And again, thank you, Kevin. Again, if you weren't here earlier, man, hats off to you, brother. You and your team did a fantastic job with this event. It went without a hitch, man. I'm telling you that it was very smooth. Your communication, your volunteers did a fantastic job. Well, with the parking, with getting the signatures and live well check in the morning. Who we have, Nikki. Nikki was our point person down there, and Shawnee did a fantastic job. Was professional and courteous and just fun. And so, again, hats off to you, man. That was well done. Cool Cats has that rod. It's nice. He got an orange carbon rod too.
Nice.
Very nice rods. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I tear up a carbon rod or not. I'm pretty hard on stuff.
Yeah, me too.
My bumping rods, man, they scare me to death. I don't want to break them. Graphite. All right, we're just going to give it just a few more seconds here. Again, if you guys want a 6-pack of Dirty South Dragon weights, just type in the words Dirty South, and we're going to spin it here in just a second.
Yep.
Again, before we spin it, because I know everybody will run out the door as soon as we hit this thing. Thank you guys again so much for joining us this week, and we'll be back. I'm talking about the vet tournament. Oh, Bugman, just send me a message, buddy. Shoot me a message. You can comment on my Facebook post there. Anyway, my carport. Yeah. Zach has a tendency to back his boat into the carport with the rod still in the vertical position.
Oh,
so
ouch.
They don't like it. They do not like it.
No,
so Bugman, just get a hold of me. If you don't have any of that, get a hold of well, daggone, man, I need to call him. Apparently, his name slipped my tongue. J-Dog. Get a hold of J-Dog. He'll give you my number. Just get a hold of me. I'll get you signed up, man. Roger, we need rain. I have 2 bumping rods. Yeah, I know it. All right, Jimmy Geiger's in the house. I see he's here because he done entered Dirty South. We got 38 names in the hat. We're going to give it just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. 39. Tim Molina got in at the last second. All right, here we go. Who's it going to be? Pontoon Jody.
There you go.
Looky there. Well, we know that she drag them.
Yep.
Jody, just get a hold of me, and I'll get the information out to them. You can choose whether to have a variety pack or if there's a certain weight in particular you'd like to have, we'll make it happen. Again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We saw J-Dog Saturday. We went by him screaming, J-Dog. There you go. All right, man. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us another Tuesday night. Successful. Jeremy, thank you for being patient. Your signal out there is just a little.
Patience is not the word I would. Patience not the word I would use tonight for me.
Well, hopefully they get you straightened out. Maybe get you back in your normal room, or hopefully you can get out of there soon.
Yeah, hopefully I can be home in my little studio at the house. It'd be very nice.
Sounds good. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday night. Same cat time, same cat channel. We'll catch you on the next cast. Good night, everybody.